there he's sitting, ripping off my entire brand, from soup to nuts. Greetings and salutations from sunny Manchester.
Not so sunny today.
Yeah. So we're here for the Virtues Tour of Sheikh Ibrahim Asi Afa. Allah give him success and be pleased with his efforts. And huge gratitude for inviting Ensar Oud to be part of this gig. And we'll be showcasing our new UK branch at the event, which is Oud Bar. You can find the Oud Bar products on oudbar.com, and we obviously hope to see many of you at the event, inshallah. And so what are we going to talk about here?
Those lovely oils over there, I think.
Oh, you want to smell one?
Let's start with the best.
We're talking about Oud Bar, and he wants to talk about Oriscent. So Oriscent, just for give everybody a bit of a background, Oriscent was the very first company that I founded back in 2004, and the company was only known as Oriscent. The switch to EO, i.e. Ensar Oud, happened in 2012. I believe there was I must have told the story to people in person many times, but for the record and just for the public domain, I was at an event very much like this one back around 2010, if I'm not mistaken, 2011, right? And right next to me there's another stall, and it's got the same font as Oriscent, the same tagline, the same slogan, right? He only changed 2 letters, so the RI became UD. So he became Oudscent, right? And I was Oriscent, and this was my customer. Right. So
he clearly knew what it was.
Great taste, and kudos to him on that inspiration there. I wish I had thought of that myself. I was the Oud source. That Oriscent, the slogan was the Oud source, right? Back then, companies had these kind of slogans and taglines, and he was the Oud connection. And I didn't even know what was happening. I mean, it was so glaringly a ripoff that I didn't even realize it.
It's almost like you look at something and think, is that real? Or
it's like I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. It was like it was staring me in the face. And the guy calls me from Jordan, Besim, and he says, "Have you seen what's going on? And it's right next to you." And I said, "No, I wasn't aware. I mean, I saw that he was selling oud, and he approached me as a customer. I have the." Back then it was the Purple Papua was one of the most hottest releases that people were raving about. It's like, I got the Purple Papua and it's insane and I love it and this and that, and I'm like, you're a good customer, mashallah, this is great, fantastic, thanks for your order. And then there he's sitting, ripping off my entire brand, from soup to nuts. If you checked out the website, I hadn't even checked out his website.
Is it still? I imagine it's not still trading that other company.
No, I mean, he went bust a long time ago. For other reasons. But I went on his website, and everything is like verbatim, just like the Oriscent website.
So copy and paste with a few bits changed. Plagiarism,
like when you hire a designer, some people, what they do is they say okay, look at such and such a website to get the overall feel or whatever. So his designer, being the creative WizKid that he was like, he just took my website, which obviously he had told him as the point of reference, and just copied it entirely. I had Oud by Oud origins. He had Oud by region. I had what was it? The Oud guide. He had something else that sounded something like that. It was just a clear copy and paste job. So I said, this is embarrassing. I mean, for you to do something like that. I told the guy, right? I said, you should have at least been a bit
more creative,
more original. Try to do something at least seemingly, yours,
Yeah.
rather than just rip someone else off. And I said, it's not going to work out because you have the wrong intention.
Yeah, you've got to start with the right intention.
It's not going to work out, and I wish you luck. I just changed the name, rather than wait for him to change his name, which was not something that was a reasonable expectation given his point of departure. It's like flat out theft, plagiarism. I said, you know what? I'm just going to name it after myself. And that way, nobody can.
You can't steal that.
You can't steal that. I mean, my name is Ensar. This is who I am. This is my story. Here I am in the jungle. Here I am in the distillery. Here I am in the forest with the plantations and the farmers and everything on the field, hands on. And the guy was like in Puerto Rico or something, and there's no way he was going to go to the jungle.
Go to the
So what he started doing on Facebook, he started promoting agarwood in Puerto Rico. So
does that even exist?
It's highly
the next untapped jungle.
Highly unlikely. So it's like pretty soon, brothers and sisters, we're going to have oud coming from Puerto Rico, and it's going to be great because the climate is perfect, and it's going to be just like the Laotian rainforest.
Grow in Doncaster.
I mean, you got a better chance at ambergris if you go by the coast than growing aquilarias in Doncaster. So that was the story of how Ensar Oud came to be, is that it was just a case of plagiarism. Now, ironically, everybody went on to copy the Ensar Oud format ultimately, and everybody became Ahmed Oud, and you have this Oud named after the guy, right? Billy Oud, Muhammad Oud. You got companies named after everybody and their grandmothers. And at one point, I just wanted to change it from Ensar Oud to something else. But that's when the perfumery thing took off, and the brand became known as EO and the perfume house of EO.
Yeah.
So there's a fine line there of distinction between Ensar Oud, the founder, i.e. yours truly, making these oils out in the jungles and in the distilleries in the Far East, and the craft of perfumery, artisanal perfumery, which is a new movement that we, I believe, have had a role to play in by Allah's grace. And so many people now identify the brand as a perfume house. So to switch it because of all of these, Omar Oud and Billy Oud and Abbas Oud and whatever they have, it just seemed a bit counterintuitive at the moment. So to each their own. We do have, since we are going to be talking, inshallah, about Oriscent, we do have a similar situation panning out as we speak. Like we have customers and people from the community going around promoting in marketing they call it an underdog. Someone who
sort of rooting for the underdog.
Someone who claims to be the same, only smaller, and he needs your support, and so therefore, why don't you shop with me? And the ironic part is that they claim to offer exactly the same oils as Oriscent from the same distillery as EO, as myself, and just for cheaper. Right? So if the oils are from the same distillery and they're of the same value and merit, why do you need to piggyback on the names of my oils in order to sell those oils?
Exactly.
Right?
Just say it's its own thing.
So you can say, look, we distill these in the Far East. We put great care in the selection of materials and the distillation process. Let the oil speak for itself.
Exactly.
And I hear many people have been burnt and bummed out when they go ahead and take the plunge, because there's a lot of peer pressure. There's a lot of incentives that are being handed out to people, for free. Here's a free sample, here's a free bottle or gram or whatever, and just promote my oil. And they're like, it's the same as Oriscent. And when you hear
you hear the feedback on my end
user, when you hear it from the guy, the little guy who got burnt in the process, they come to me that, I'm sorry, it's nothing like Oriscent, and the oils speak for themselves, and just
and they're like £300, £400 out of pocket.
And per gram, I mean, he's priced it so that it's just below the cheapest Oriscent. category, which is about 2,500.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
his is like 2,450 or 2,490 or something like this. He sells them by the gram. And the merit is that obviously it is the same as Oriscent, same distiller.
Yeah.
You know, my
same materials.
Same materials. My materials, you know, the way that I've sourced them is that it's impossible to source those materials unless you are intimately familiar with the big bosses of the Chinese agro market.
And you want to throw silly money.
And you want to throw crazy money. Plus, you need to enlist groups of people to carry these in their suitcases to transport them to the distillery.
Yeah.
Right. So now this person has, for one, never been in the Far East. He's never seen a tree.
I doubt they've even witnessed the actual materials. I think it's just a case of buying the oils from somebody, and maybe they're under the impression that maybe a distiller said to him, "Oh, by the way, I supplied this guy," or something.
There's many distillers who want to claim that. There's distillers who literally offer us free oils. Just, I want to send you this oil. Just take it. Tell me what you think. It's a sample. It's whatever. I know what that's going to lead to. So the blanket response is,
every day you get people coming through.
No, thank you.
Know.
You know,
Yeah.
Don't send me anything. I'm not interested in sampling your oils because I know what's going to happen next. He's going to claim to be my supplier. People are going to get burnt, and it's going to be a losing proposition for everybody, unfortunately. So anyway, so much for that. You know, the oils, they always speak for themselves. And there's an uncanny side to these oils, is that the oils, in my view, is just, I don't see this as a commodity. You know, I don't see it as a mercantile endeavor. It is. I mean, it is an exchange of goods for money at the end of the day. But that's what all art is. You know, so if you went to like Da Vinci or Michelangelo or these kind of people. Oh, and by the way, people who want to claim that I'm claiming to be one of these people because I'm mentioning them.
just by mentioning them.
Yeah, it doesn't, you know, I am not claiming to be Da Vinci or Michelangelo, so please rest easy.
Yeah. Calm down.
Calm down.
Breathe.
Take a chill pill.
Yeah.
One of them called me the Albanian Van Gogh.
Oh yeah, that was an original one.
Yeah, the Albanian Van Gogh. I'm actually going to make a perfume about that.
Yeah, you should do it. Yeah,
I'm going to make a perfume, and I'm going to call it Albanian Van Gogh.
Yeah, do it.
And it's going to be an impressionistic perfume.
Yeah.
Right, the first of its kind, and you just wait.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, if you went to Michelangelo, you went to Da Vinci, and you said, "I want to buy your artwork," or "I want your art," of course he's going to take compensation.
Yeah, well, he needs it to live. He needs to live, doesn't he?
So art is sold. So to say that, oh, this is a merchant, this is a wolf in sheep's clothing claiming to be an artist, but he's actually a merchant. Well, duh. I mean, artists have to live.
What do you do? Like, well, you need also as well. You need the funds in order to be able to continue the endeavor as well. To be able to invest in new materials.
And how many families are sustained by this enterprise? I mean, how many distillers and their families and their children and grandchildren and their schooling and their, you know, all the people that work in cleaning the wood and processing it and putting in the pots and the boilers and overseeing the fires and the flames throughout the distillation, which can take, in our case, up to like 40 days.
Yeah.
You know, to do a batch, right? So what I call this, to circle back to Michelangelo, is this is the paint. So the oil is in my view and in my process of making it, is like the paint that we use. This is not the end artwork. You know, the finished work is not there. You know why? Because there is a spiritual aspect to everything that you touch. You know, some people are more in tune with their spiritual dimension than others, and there are people that, I mean, you show them a work of art. There was a calligrapher in Turkey, very big calligrapher, very famous Hoca. He was the master and a teacher of many calligraphers.
Yeah.
And they showed me his works, and I said, all of a sudden I feel very sad. They said, well, that's because that teacher, he suffered from depression all of his life, and it seems that carries over in his work.
Yeah, that's transferred into, because obviously art is expression.
Exactly.
So that's obviously naturally going to carry off into his artwork. Into his artwork,
and then the viewer of that art, the one who's appreciating it, is going to get infected with that state of mind and that state of heart that this artist had at the
Yeah.
time of composing the work. So that is something not to be forgotten, which is why I get these people telling me I feel differently when I wear your oils.
Yeah, I feel like, and it depends on the oil that you wear as well. I mean, some oils are very uplifting, some oils are almost energizing, some oils are quite sort of grounding.
Yeah.
You get a different experience each time.
But there is that I would.
But there is that aesthetic though that runs throughout them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you take White Quinam, for example, and then take Chiara Limited. They're totally different oils, but the state and the where it transports you to has a similar DNA. Why?
Yeah.
Because the sweat and the struggle and the tears and the blood that went into making that oil is the same. So the story. So to me, I'm going to show you an oil right now. Actually. Okay, I want to show you this oil, and you tell me what you think of it.
Wow.